in the top 6 of the consistency leaderboard for today.
Yeah, one of those teams that's trying their darndest to get to that top 6. Currently even sent in first, Epic, Razor, and Nico. And even though I didn't pick them this time, you can see exactly why. I had a feeling, regardless of what happened, they would make their way to the finals, but it's still possible they could slip out. They would need a devastating loss in the early portion of this game. I talk about anything being possible, and it includes that.
Taking a look here at Faltzy and Prism, who have successfully taken Jonesy's these last 2 matches, and let's see if they can make it count for a best of 3 here. 3 matches for them, but they're contested still, so they're gonna have to get some action. Looking at Aguilar though, are we seeing a contestation here in Jonkers, Jacob?
Yeah, he almost getting it uncontested for the day, but in the last game as well, the same duo begin to drop on them. They just like the loot that's there. So many splashes become a possibility, but Aguilar with the Stinger tries to overtake with the high ground. Shots are gonna be fired off. Tons of damage. The shield just being diminished, but Compalot gets taken out by himself, but it comes down to a 1v1 as Matt goes down to Aguilar. He's trying to save as much of the resources as possible. Out of light ammo bullets, unable to clean up the elimination just yet, but he gets rewarded, gets the MK7, more ammunition around the corner, so this one could go his way.
This could go his way. Saw that MK7 and it felt like a blessing as he did not have any small ammunition for that Stinger SMG, but be careful, he's trying to reload the Stinger. Meanwhile, losing so much health, but he just gets the Siphon, which makes him survive this situation. If he's able to clutch this up, that timing was impeccable.
Trying to use the guzzle juice. And it's very important for him to still not take tags. Uses the reinforced wall. One of the best things he could have done is HP almost to 100. No shields, though. Not too much ammo to work with, especially when it comes to light in that Stinger. So it's going to be all MK7. Possibly has to go. I was going to say he's going to have to stuff him, get in the box, and try to get close range. But Aguilar with the shots, he's going to go down to 9 HP. Still has the guzzle juice, though.
One more shot was needed there to get the elimination. Pops the guzzle juice, mixing it with some med mist. Perfect combo to get your health up quickly, but Aguilar is still on top in the high ground, but it's not gonna be enough to get that elimination as he's gonna be taken out in game 6.
Yeah, for Knobs and Matt, their dream of reaching the final will continue, but sitting in 18th place, 64 points. I feel like they need a ton of eliminations, getting as close of a high placement as possible, or just straight up the victory royale, regardless of that elimination victory right there.
Gonna be able to get the reboot, but I want to see some replays here, see what other action has been going on in the sessions here, as we do have actually Static going with a vehicle rotate very quickly, very early, but we can see what they did beforehand here in the Greasy Grove. Looking to see as he gets directly in Chicken's face there with the Stinger SMG, taking him out in half a second, and that's a good way to start your last match. You get your Storm Surge tags, you get a bit of extra points. Now it's 64. They're pretty far from the bubble, but it's all about that confidence. It's all about getting that victory royale if you're not close to the bubble.
And for this team, I feel like throughout the past couple of days, they've just been switching up their drop. If it doesn't work, they go somewhere else. If it doesn't work, and especially after a lot of these teams are getting their victory royales, advancing to the finals, and then spots are open. So it is a strategy that we've seen a couple teams use. It's not something you want to bank your entire series on. But when things aren't going your way, sometimes you need that extra trick underneath your sleeve, just like Crimson and Flux. And they still continue to land here on the Joneses, but they are not landing in the same exact house. They know Prism and Faltzy are over on that side.
And they're trying to find them, looking to see if they can keep an eye out. But take a look at that quick stat. The projected points to qualify through consistency is at 131 points. It is quite high up. A reminder that we're playing 6 games today in day 3 of the semifinals, whereas day 1 and 2 there was only 5 games played. So the qualifying cutoff through consistency is a bit higher. I also just saw that Poppy Blast and Show got eliminated. I believe they were just about that threshold, but looking at Pyro here in an engagement at Coney. Crossroads down to 17 HP, gonna get knocked down. Now it's all up to his teammate Imp, who's at 59 points and has a blue pistol and legendary MK7.
definitely doable. It's not a Stinger SMG, but oh, there you go. I want to give myself credit for that one. I found it for him. I let him know where it's at, but he has both of those. So once he runs out of the Stinger SMG and forced to reload, he can easily switch to that pistol and continue to put down an immense amount of damage on his opponents. But you can kind of see Yumi and his duo just kind of backing off for a moment. They know it's a 2v1. They have all the time in the world. They don't need to rush anything, and that's something that you have to keep in your mind.
Trying to see what they can do here, right? Coney Crossroads, very popular drop spot. It's home to some of the biggest titans on the NA West region. We know Epic Whale and Arkham like dropping here, so if you end up qualifying through Coney and making it to the finals, I mean, you might have to go against some of the best in the region. But looking here at Nico and his teammate, looking to see if they can get some of that early game action. They're above the projected threshold here to qualify within that bubble, so they're feeling confident.
Confident as can be. But Epic Cyrays seem to be a little bit more here. Not backing down. They have plenty of light ammo to continue to put the pressure through the box. Lots of heals if things don't go perfect for them as they continue to hold on to the high ground. Another team that's been struggling after the first two games, Salt Lover and Sunset. They did such a good job of battling for the high ground, but since that first two games, they've been a slow and steady, kind of inconsistent, not being able to have the great beginning portions. They're just forced to survive as solos on so many different occasions. And for Sunseat, the game is literally on the line, and it makes me wonder if he even got the reboot.
Not able to make it to the end game, right? Just like you said, they had some strong starts where they were battling for that high ground, but now they're just not able to make it there. I wonder if something changed. They tried changing up a drop spot, maybe loop path, kind of got mixed up, but now Sunsea's gonna have to decide what to do. Still has the opportunity to get the reboot card of his duo partner, but it's always risky and it's gonna take a lot of time. It's gonna be very difficult to recuperate from a situation that the one that he's in.
I like when I see the fruits and vegetables being utilized. A lot of players, even when they need HP and stuff, they kind of just run past all that just because they're looking for a guzzle juice. They're looking for something big that can just recover that HP as fast as possible. But it does look like he doesn't have the reboot. Probably trying to go into the storm and get it, which is why he's saving a lot of those bandages to try to get the 15 per bandage HP back. Because you know it's going to be a marathon and not a race in this game number 6 here. And we got two different sides here of that bubble. A team 11th placed on the cusp of qualifying in, and a team so far out they need that victory royale.
Once again, this stat that no team this season has gone to win a match after rebooting. I mean, Jacob, it seems so difficult to do, and it is. I mean, you know it. You lose time looting. You lose time farming materials, and it's so important to have a game plan that you can see. If your game plan gets messed up because one of your teammates gets eliminated, it's so difficult to make a comeback and end up winning the match.
Hopefully for somebody here, they can try to put that stat to rest, create history here, win the game, advance in the final game number 6 here. That could be a dream for some of these players, but for others, they're still having to find their way in the zone. You see it towards Coney Crossroads. That's where I do believe Sunseat went back to try to grab his teammate, and exactly that. Does look like the reboot is going to go off on Daily Bugle of all places, so he had a long journey to get there.
Oof. Daily Bugle looking here at Coney, though. World Cup with 87 points in 10th place. This is kind of more the position where you're close to that cutoff, and you kind of have to decide if you want to play for that consistency or risk it for the high ground and get that victory royale. But taking a replay here of Johnny and Draft, who are going to be taking out a Crow. They're getting a nice epic MK7. I mean, maybe sometimes Fortnite just wants to be a little nice to you and give you a little bit of a boost.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, that's why they call it a blessing in disguise. You see Kaboo and Cool, 10th place as well, 87 points. Close, very, very close to Worldka and Kika. As I do believe we might have a big map. Look at everybody right now. Slow side is going to be left where it's mainly covered with the water. So we're going to have everybody kind of jam-packed where it's about like 70% land.
I'm trying to remember which duos drop on that west side of the map, because if you get a zone closed on your drop spot, you have a lot more time to loot up, farm up, and get to a good position. But the problem is if you're not rotating, you have less opportunities to do damage. So if you weren't contested, you didn't get any early game action, it might be problematic for Storm Surge. And we can see a few problems here as the bottom two players are only 39 above Storm Surge. That's just a few seconds and they could be below.
And what's scary is that for the past 2 days, we've literally in our final games, obviously for day 1 and 2, it was 5th game. This one is going to be the 6th, but we've seen teams on that bubble, inside of the bubble even, go down early in the final game and lose their chance at qualifying. The first one that comes to mind is Combat and Zays on day 1. They fell short, but in day 2, they picked up that victory royale. So hopefully one of these teams can kind of repeat that history.
Hopefully they can make it happen, but look at that. Who are we seeing on the right side? Salt Lover and Sunzy, who's managed to get the reboot. 112 below though, Jacob. This is not going to be easy.
Not going to be easy. Salt Lover, but not many resources either. Now you add in the fact they're trying to get swatted out of the sky, forced to use the minis. Only has bandages and fish to kind of eat there. So he's not going to be able to get up to 100 HP. He's just trying to take the resources while they can. 112 below the threshold still. So they definitely need a miracle here in this game.
Oof, I want to see. I didn't get an eye on how many players were alive and how many need to get eliminated for that Storm Surge threshold to come to an end, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to be stopping anytime soon. So Salt Lover, Sunzy, they know what they have to do. They need to get that damage done now. Actually 3 above, so there is still hope, Jacob.
Yep, there's still hope, but they still have to worry and make it a thought in the back of their mind that they still need to be looking for tags here. And for them to make it this far and be 3 above the threshold means they're definitely on the right track of putting that stat to rest and hopefully being the first team to reboot a player and get that victory royale. And that would also mean qualifying for the finals. The Epic Psyraiser is going to get knocked. So is Elder. Storm Surge is going to begin to activate. So this team is once again in the hot seat, the pressure situation, having to find the tag. Salt Lover goes down yet again, and Sunseek gets taken out to the Surge, and that duo is going to be able to clean up that loot.
Great try for the comeback. Now 69 players alive, so the Storm Surge has just stopped after Sunzy and his duo partner go down. But looking at the right side, we have Monkey here trying to clutch it up as his teammate Yuki has been knocked down, and actually fully eliminated here. So now he's put in a sticky situation that he's gonna have to come out of. He's got the chili chug splashes. He's got 8 regular chili peppers. I mean, all the mobility he needs for this match is in the inventory, but the problem is that now he's playing as a solo. He's missing his duo partner, but I believe they were able to eliminate one, so it turned out to be a 1v1 situation, and I believe the opponent disengaged. So now, I mean, if he's able to get a reboot, I could see the likelihood of that stat being broken.
Definitely so, but getting a reboot this stage in the game as the zone continues to close is going to be one tough task. Even if you get it off, surviving that with the whole lobby is going to begin to look at you. So even surviving the reboot afterwards is going to be a tough task. But with some peppers, it looks like he's going to go deep into the zone and try to at least make an attempt with everything on the line. This could be make or break for this duo.
Gonna try and make it happen here. Reboot starts, seeing if he can get it off. But here the most stressful part, just like Jacob said, it's not getting the reboot. It's what happens after. Getting to the zone, recuperating your materials, getting your loot back up. And you even saw there was a duo that just crossed that greasy building. So now they're gonna be waiting at the storm, waiting for him to rotate. And I don't know how this is gonna turn out.
Yeah, for some of these teams on the bubble, maybe even sitting in 7th place, Gosh and Sharp moving up to 8th. A second thought that it has qualified some of these teams throughout the course of multiple days is the teams inside of the top 6 getting that victory royale. So you got to imagine you go ahead and close the gap. The team in the top 6 gets the victory royale. They're no longer in contention of qualifying through consistency. That could be a miracle that you're waiting for, but that's not something you want to plan around. For Sharp and Gosh, they're looking down, possibly on a duo to drop down on, but they have such a high ground position. It's not something they want to give up for free.
You can also see Cabo here on the left side as zones closed even more to the west. It's almost a full west zone here. Gonna have to make a rotate. A majority of the duos are gonna have to rotate. You can see that this east side of the zone is more congested. So, I mean, there are gonna be a lot of rotations happening, and that is a good time to start getting some tags.
Team sitting in 9th place, 7th right above them as well. This could get a little scary if they begin to exchange shots. Cool and Kaboo, they know exactly what's needed here. Just rotate, get a spot in the zone. Chris and Wavy Jacob could be a disruptor into so many teams' games because just like I said, they're right next to 7th and 9th place.
Oof, I mean, they're getting close to the edge. Panda brought it up. Their last game, they were not able to secure as many points as their previous matches, knocking them down a few positions on the leaderboard. They're still feeling pretty good above that projected range for the consistency cutoff, but you never know. Some strange things can happen, and if they're not able to get at least a few more points, I wouldn't be fully happy.
Yeah, I honestly wouldn't be comfortable at all in this situation because how chaotic it can get towards the end game. I'm not going to be comfortable until I see the leaderboard at the end of the day as everybody's forced in yet again. About a minute until the next zone closes. Epic, Psyraiser, and Nico going down. Another team to the top side of the leaderboard. And that's not good. But for them, hopefully they built themselves such a big lead that they don't have to worry about it.
Oof. 10 above the Storm Surge. Jacob Lux and his duo Cyphers here are looking like they need to get some tags, but the good thing is a lot of duos had to rotate. We saw how much that zone closed towards the west, so now with all these duos rotating, they have a lot of options. If they can hit their shots with their MK7, they are going to be good on Storm Surge, and that's exactly what they're doing, seeing that they're 200 above now, but a duo that's below, Balanced Photo, 100 points, very close to the threshold here. They can just make it happen, though, taking down Kiko, taking down Worldco. That's 6 points from eliminations, but Nevets is going to get knocked down, and Photo as well is going to be going down. Tavern and Cause are going to secure up that loot from 4 players.
Yep, Tavern and Cause, they started this one with 71 points, sitting in about 20th place, so they're doing everything they can, get some extra points. Batterista also picking up 2 eliminations, making it that much easier on a Monkey and Yuki, so that reboot stat remains in effect. That was a team that tried to make a miracle happen. Gosh gets it down onto Matt. We saw them early on winning that off-spawn exchange against Aguilar and Complot. Their run possibly coming to an end as Crimson actually cleans up that elimination.
Cleans up that elimination. 667 above the Storm Surge for Cabo and Cool at 89 points. They're in the top 10, but they're not in the top 6, which is where you want to be at the end of this match. We've got Yellow Glow Boyo 85 above the Storm Surge at 127 points. A reminder that the projected threshold cutoff is at 131, so they are so close to that cutoff that they do not want to make any mistakes right now.
Yep. Don't want to get taken down early, especially how well of a game they've played all day long. Super consistent as CZR take the shot from Yellow Glow, but they're going to keep on moving, knowing that this is not what they need. Slow and steady wins the race. They drop a player in the box, so that is going to be Summy. They continue to get aggressive, but get shot down from a blow. They cannot clean up that elimination just yet, but they return to the scene so they can get the siphon, but Yellow Glow is going to be denied that second opportunity. Not just yet, but with him being down, Storm forcing a couple players to move. This is just them taking their breath before they get aggressive yet again.
Looking like they're going to be able to recuperate those shields. Has the chug splashes, has the mini shields, and now they're trying to find it. Where's that knock? Where is that opponent? They actually got the pickup, got the revive on the opponent, now making it a 2 versus 2 again. Zone is also about to close, but look at that. Zone has closed back. So Boyo and Glow, even though they know they have the HP advantage as they just knocked down that opponent, they're going to play it safe because here they have the zone. They can just wait a little bit. A lot of players will get eliminated, and they're going to secure some extra placement points.
Yeah, and I even saw 2 of our bubble teams getting the max pull. That's Gosh and Sharp. And I do believe Cool and Kaboo who's going to have to go through this entire chaotic mess that is Fortnite towards the low ground, as everybody now has to make the decision where you want to go. Spicy Peppers for this duo is going to be divvied up. Unless Cyphers might have had the only one. 50 above the threshold. This one is going to get interesting. 6 zone. Might be too early to take it and try to hold on to it. For CZR and Javier, though, they're going to do their best.
Cyphers needs 16 more points to be on that qualifying threshold, but only 19 above the Storm Surge. They got a nice rotate, but there's a duo trying to drop them down. You got to be careful. Put your cones down. Put your floors down. Be ready to reinforce your structures if needed. We also have Baterista and Physics kind of looking for that high ground, seeing if they can take it, but it's 6th zone. This is a dangerous time to look for high ground.
Yeah, take it too early with not enough resources. You're going to just put yourself into a bad spot, just like Hound doing just enough to stay alive, stay in front of zone, but players trying to break into his box, not enough time to pop all the shields. He's going to go down. He's going to go out. High ground is to fix it to Baterista, who are doing such a good job holding on to it. 19th place. They need this victory royale. It is the only way they can qualify. Almost getting knocked down, but they do a good job of holding on. 56 above the threshold. They have to start looking at some options here.
Baterista and Physics, the only duo in the NA West semifinals playing from console here at FNCS. Will they be able to secure it? But look at Boyo, 133, trying to rack up as many points as he can to secure that qualification through consistency. Nice shot onto his opponent there. Has 2 eliminations with his teammate Glow, but just has to survive as long as he can. 800 above the Storm Surge, running out of materials. 9 health to work with. How long is he going to survive?
Oh, he drops down just in the nick of time. He gets that elimination and the siphon before he goes down. Bonus points coming in. Chris is also picking up a couple on the cool. Polo's going in, striking in on the action. Everybody wanting a piece of that pie. That's Ghosty and Flameback as well. Clutch is trying to stay ahead of the zone with Smugs. The high ground's going to Hurtin as they battle. They take down the console team. Back to lobby you go, but sitting in 3rd place, there's still more for this team to do.
Hurtin now and Smoke have secured the high ground. You can see they've got 27 points. They're in 33rd place, but if they secure this victory royale, they're going to the finals. 6 eliminations already. They're feeling confident. They're feeling good, but there's still 13 duos, 22 players standing.
Clutch and Smugs, they got denied that autograph. Clutch goes down. That's Flameback, who picks up another elimination. A big siphon as well. Smug knows he cannot be the hero for his teammate. He has to traverse as a solo, sitting in 5th place, slowly but surely falling down 2 different places. Can he fall out of the bubble? Who knows?
So many big names standing right now. We have Chris, we have Tavern Cause, we've got Hurtin on the high ground, even Foltzy and Prism, who switched up their strategy. But look at that high ground. It's getting contested now. Hurtin looking like he might give it up here, trying to find if he can group up with his teammate, do anything they can to regroup, restabilize, and continue going.
Yeah, Turtle and Kaz have the high ground, struggling all day long to keep a consistent pace, but all you need is that one opportunity. The final game for the victory royale as 8 teams remain. Smuck is one of the solos. He's in 5th place, so far out of zone. Can he go down? Lox is in the bubble. He's in 6 eliminations. They find another one, make it 7 as there's only 7 duos remain. 11 players total, make it 10 as another one falls.
A party going on the low ground here as so many players just got eliminated. Now Tavern and Cause still have the high ground zone pulled back towards them. They have 47 builds. They have chug splashes. They have everything they need to close this one out. They just have to play it flawlessly. Nice shots down from the high ground. Cause looking to see if he can secure some extra eliminations here. 7 players alive, 5 duos. They might just be able to do it.
Yep, as everybody continues to fall, the pressure is mounting. They're not giving up. They continue to rain down. Cypher's going to lose his teammates. So is Former. So many solos towards the low ground. Tavern and Cause could come up big in our final game as Cypher's is doing what he can to stay ahead of the zone. Prism, Cause is dropping down as well. Shots from above. This could be the game. This could be the moment for Turtle and Cause as it's down with 2v1. Cypher's sitting in the 4th. They desperately need this, but he doesn't at the low ground. They need to figure out a way to close it out. They're playing super careful. He makes a play for the high ground. He goes down. Kaz gets the final elimination. Turtle and Kaz qualify for the finals. They do it in the final game.
I mean, I'm speechless, Jacob. They just played that perfectly, from struggling in the first matches to finishing it off with the victory royale, going to the finals. I mean, they played it just like they needed to, taking high ground on the last moving zones instead of doing it too early. We've seen that's the play. That's how you get it done, and that's how you get your ticket to the finals.
I mean, I said it to you guys when I said my prediction. I would love Turtle and Kaz to take it. I thought I was cursing everybody. I went with somebody else. I'm sorry, Gosh and Sharp. I might have cursed you guys, but Trevor and Kaz, congratulations.
I am absolutely speechless with what just happened. They clutched it up. They've been struggling from yesterday. Me and Jacob both had Turtle and Cause as our predictions, but they took it home today in the last day. Not only the last day of the semifinals, but the last match. Jacob, what an incredible day.
Definitely an incredible day. So many teams were on the cusp. So many teams were in the bubble. They were getting tossed back and forth like a game of ping pong. There's only 3 incredible people that can break down all that chaos. Panda, Play, Kelly, please help us.
I mean, after that incredible run from Tavern and Cause, I don't know if we can help you anymore because you guys just cast that so perfectly. And you know, speaking of casting and making predictions and everything, one of us on the analyst desk made a guess that Cause and Tavern were going to win this VR. Between the 3 of us, Panda, I don't remember who it was.
It's okay. I'll remind you. It was definitely me. It was nobody else. I was the one that said Tavern and Cause was going to win this. And actually Clay said it too. I think Kelly was the only one that said they weren't. But yes. Here's why they did it, right? They were so patient, methodical with the way they played out those final moments. And ultimately, they stayed up as a team. We've talked about it the last couple games, but they stayed up in a pair, and they were able to capitalize on that solo player not being necessarily with his duo. Obviously, that player did get quite a bit of damage there onto Tavern, but it still ended up working out in their favor.
And obviously, we're not just looking for the VRs here. We were looking for those teams that were on the bubble, those teams that could hopefully break into the top 6. Because, of course, every time a VR happens, those teams that are in the top leave the leaderboard, and it gets more and more open for a lot of these other teams here. So really excited to look at one of those teams in just a moment for those highlights, of course. But, Clay, there's so much going on here. And here we have it, Mr. Lox's team.
And Cypress, look at the chemistry that they have, staying together box to box. They are going to find one there. And look, everyone just seems to be opening up their boxes for them to get shots into it. Look at how many mats they find, 45, 50 builds remaining there. Lox and Cypress, and boom, that's a beautiful pinch. Going to find a player together. They edit him up. They fall for the trap, and it was perfect. Again, they are right on the bubble at this moment, 129, 130 points. They have to find as many elims as they can. And look at it, elim after elim after elim just keeps coming through. They're sitting on 6 elims right now, 133. And then look, the edit down together, boom. They worked that out so perfectly, getting more eliminations. Cypress with 5 currently.
Every moment in these final minutes here for this team mattered, right? They were right within that range of qualification. They knew if they did not play every play correctly, they could go out. But fortunately for them, they climbed into that top 4 spot there right in this moment. But that's when the game wasn't over yet, right? So it was still everything for this team to do what they could to survive, taking that 2nd place, ultimately putting them potentially in the top 6. We don't know until we look at that leaderboard, but honestly, it's probably safe to say they're going to be qualifying and going to the finals.
And there's still obviously some teams that we aren't too certain about who's going to make it into the top 6. But before we look into that, we have to remind ourselves which 6 teams made it into the finals through VRs alone today. And of course, it all started with Buzzo and Evil winning game number 1. The game after that was Winx and Yian. Game number 3 went to Herbie and Puffy Gusta Taco. Game 5 was Beasts and Remy, Slick and Day. And then after that, to round it all off, currently in 11th place to grab that VR, Tavern and Cause. And when I think of NA West, part of me thinks of Turtle Tavern, so it's so good to see him here. If anyone deserved that place, it was him. But look at it, an 8-point difference from Clutch and Smug and Prism and Hound Panda.
Yeah, see, this is what we were talking about. Those final moments mattered so much, and ultimately they were able to walk away qualifying. Man, and that's tough to see here. Prism and Hound, this is the 2nd day in the row that they were so close to qualifying, but unfortunately just off by a few points here. It's going to make a difference, Clay.
I mean, I'm looking at 2nd place as well. Wavy, Jacob, and Chris played consistently throughout the entire day. 103 placement points, 19 eliminations coming through for that 2nd place. You really love to see it, Kelly.
I mean, you love to see all of these teams make it through. And of course, there are a few teams that aren't going to be making it into the finals. But guys, this is just season 1 of the newest chapter, chapter 3. So there's going to be plenty of opportunities for these teams to showcase themselves and win the Pickaxe of Champions. But everyone, that is it. We have the 50 teams moving forward. And you know what? Just to remind everyone again, who picked what? Which teams were we predicting, of course? Because I feel like my team might be... oh, wait, Panda? What's this?
Yeah, see? I'm glad that we all picked the same team, right? Wavy, Jacob, and Chris was a solid choice, start to finish. I'm glad that we were all on the same page here in making this decision. It's incredible to see just the chemistry, not only that we have on the desk, but when it comes to our choices, we're always on the same page. And I really appreciate about you, Kelly and Clay.
Oh.
Thank you so much for always making it so easy to just transition into these teams, because we definitely have a pretty good mindset when picking the players that are going to qualify.
And you're talking about chemistry, and I want to say, again, it is the very first FNCS of the new chapter. So even for these players that didn't qualify, they should definitely stick together and just work on their chemistry, because that will put you into good success on the future, right? Look at Arkram and Epic Whale. Look at how well they are because they played together for so long. So don't get down on yourself just yet. Wait it out and see.
I mean, the chemistry for us trio right here, definitely strong, but this is a duos competition, Panda, so the synergy stops at 2. And speaking of 2, here we have it, your duos. They're going to be competing over 2 days during the finals next week. And although there are plenty of names right here, my eyes go to one team, and that's 100 Thieves Arkram and NRG's Epic Whale, Panda.
Yeah, see, my eyes go a little bit of different direction here to Batman, Booga, and Wheels, the real champions of Chapter 3 Season 1. You'll see. Don't even worry about it. Production, you can clip this and save this for later, too, because that's going to happen. But all these great teams have made it on. Caleb, Kenzo, Notch and Hav, Salco and Mojo. So many incredible names, well-known names here from the West region, but also some new faces stepping up to show why they deserve a spot here in the finals. And I cannot be more excited to see what happens next weekend.
And I know you guys are excited as well. 2 days to decide who is going to be the new champion of NA West. 50 teams moving forward, but only one can claim their spot at the top. Of course, on behalf of Jacob and Takata and our teams from EU and NA East, we appreciate you guys so much watching us and joining us here. Also, make sure to check out Legends Landing, the ultimate viewing experience for the FNCS. But on behalf of Panda and Clay, everyone, we appreciate you guys so much, and we can't wait to see you next time.
have you ever been with a player? Take you downtown where they treat me like the mayor. Take you to the crib where you take it upstairs. What's upstairs? Shit, I'ma show you later. Don't need a spatula, everything catered. Extra flavor. Go ahead, sprinkle some truffle on your mashed potatoes. I'm trying to love you. Is you gonna love me back? You only get what you give. Ain't you heard of that? Look here, I don't ask for much. You know what I want. I just want what's fair. I'll bring that fire and desire, baby. All you gotta do is meet me halfway there. I deserve to be with somebody. Okay, now Silk Sonic smooth like a mat. Float like a butterfly on every single track. And the only language that I speak, girl, is fact. So once I give this game to you, I can't take it back. Hollering at you from a 1977 Monte Carlo. Hard act to follow. It's showtime, trying to boo you up like it's the Apollo. Your walk is vicious. Let's get down to business. You and me together. Woo, that's something different. Ooh, come on. I don't ask for much. I really don't, girl. I just want what's fair. Look at 1, 2, like you wanna.